can delete.
All right, take 2.
All right.
I see. I need like a specific phone only for YouTubing. So, okay, now I gotta start all over again. This is take 2. So I was saying yesterday, if you watched our video, at the end of our video, we pulled into Y&I store, and there was 3 ladies. It was raining, and there was 3 ladies sitting in the parking stall with their beach chairs. Only ladies. I mean, you know, but they were in their bikinis, in their beach chairs.
In Y&I store parking lot.
Y&I store parking lot.
Taking up 3 stalls.
Yeah. So, like, you know, that's a little weird.
With that kind tourist kind beach chairs.
Yeah, and
you know you're on tourist when you sit in that kind of beach chair.
Yeah. So it was strange, okay? We see a lot of weird things in Y&I, but you know what I mean? Okay, it's strange. But, so we went into the store and we told the people that we know that work there, we're like, what's going on, you know, outside in your parking lot? Like, can you explain that? Because we're curious, right? Like, that's not something you see every day. So it's like, why?
Yeah, why?
Just why?
What would possess you in your bikini and your tourist beach chair to go occupy 3 parking stalls at Y&I store?
Yeah.
Why? What in your mind says, yeah, that's the thing I want to do?
So that's why I thought maybe it was like a stupid TikTok challenge
I
or
thought
something.
it was a
you know
prank,
what I mean?
yeah.
So one of my friends, when I posted it, one of my friends said her son in college somewhere said that they do that all the time. It is some kind of stupid challenge or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is the first time we've seen it. Yeah. So we had a video, a vlog before about social media and how they can mislead, you know, and they don't tell the full story. So we don't know, you know, we only get one side and everybody jumps on that bandwagon.
Right.
But this is kind of a twist for that. So, you know, when you text, when you're a keyboard warrior and stuff like that, right? There's clear keyboard warriors, right? Where they're swearing and they're, you know.
That's why I don't do social media.
Yeah, and
so much
and sometimes I feel like I don't. If it wasn't for our business, I don't know if I would even have a Facebook anymore, because we advertise our business, Kanako Kazuya, on Instagram, and it goes on the Facebook. But so here's the thing. Guess what happened?
What happened?
So I covered the girls' faces and I posted a post, right, with the picture, and I was like, I wasn't mad. I was like, what the fuck kind of thing, right? Like, it was weird, girl. But it was weird, and I was like, can somebody explain this, you know? And I did put in there that, you know, they packed up their shit real quick when the titter walked out, right?
It took a titter to regulate that.
Yeah.
The titter from Y&I store, don't mess with the titters in Y&I store. Because they will come out and regulate your ass.
Because that was 3 of their parking
But
stalls.
she wasn't violent or anything.
No, she wasn't mad.
Straight up, she approached them and they're like, gotta go.
Yeah, when she looked and she was like, sorry, but I'm about to bum your trip, right? Because they're liable, if you think about it. They're liable for something that happens in their parking lot, right? And that's for their customers. So, you know, I wasn't mad or anything like that. I wasn't, but guess what happened?
What happened?
So somebody shared it, right? They left my name out the top, you know, but they screenshot it, I guess. Somebody shared it on Stolen Stuff Hawaii Off Topic.
Wow.
Right? And so people were commenting, you know, stuff like that. And some of them, like, okay, so like there's comments like 3 ladies just chilling, minding their own business, shame on them, you know? So, okay, you take that now, are they being sarcastic? Are they laughing with me? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just, you know, I usually don't pay attention to the comments. But somebody called me a Karen.
Huh?
Somebody called me a Karen.
What?
Yeah. Like,
on your post?
On the person that shared it, right? And the person that shared it
understood.
No. That person that shared it understood where I was coming from, because he was like, what the fuck? Y&I store, wrong place, or something like that, right?
Right.
Because everybody knows, like, you do stupid shit in Y&I, that tittles will check your ass, right?
Right.
But so
what about posting that made you a Karen?
The comments, somebody was like, I forget, it was kind of a long thing, but they said to the original Karen that posted this, you know, or something. And when I read that, I was like,
oh yeah,
huh? Right? So, you know, like that's the kind of stuff
you've
that.
never been called a Karen.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of like had to read it again, and I'm like, wait, what makes you think I'm like Karen? Like I wasn't.
See, no, that's the bait. They're baiting you into saying something
so that they can scrap me on,
then
right?
you're gonna say something. I mean, you say
So
something,
I
they're
just
gonna say
ignored
something.
it because I'm not feeling like that. And you know, maybe this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
it's
you know
not,
you're not a Karen.
No, I know.
Give them oxygen.
But so this is what I'm talking about, right? When the
you know you're losing.
Whatever. When like news media posts only half the story, you know, then people jump on it, and then you find out later there's a whole other side to it. Right. That would have probably changed your perspective on the story.
Right.
But then I think also like text messages and things like that are also can be, it depends on your perspective, I guess. And that's interesting because I don't know if like what is it that makes people look at things different, and I guess that's like for everything too, because like
deep into psychological
because even like when people talk, right, like sometimes I tell you, well, okay, why are you mad? And you're like, I'm not mad.
Yeah,
right? But you sound like mad, right? So to me, I'm like, okay,
it's just the way I talk.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, and if people aren't used to, if they didn't grow up on the streets with you.
I got a you know, one of my best friends, you know, he from when we was kids in intermediate school all the way up.
Right.
He was always the misunderstood guy because he looks like he's angry.
I know he's talking about.
He walks tough.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's a teddy bear.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and you know, and of course, you know, he's a straight shooter, right? Yeah. He's gonna tell you straight out your mouth, out his mouth, what's up, right? And but he was always misconstrued as the guy that, and then in prison, you know, a lot of guys wanted to recruit him to be a part of their hui because, you know, they fed into that persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I can see you like that too, because people look at you and assume stuff, but then if they really get to know you deep down inside, you know what I mean, you're a different person. Yeah. But then you look at me.
Yeah.
Right? You look at me, and if you know me and my personality, I think Karen would be like the last thing you think about, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I was reading it, and I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna read my post, and I'm gonna try to flip the perspective, right?
Right.
I'm like, okay, do I sound angry? Do I sound like I'm complaining and stuff? You know, I mean, I guess you're
stating a fact.
Yeah, I was stating a fact.
What about stating a fact makes you a Karen?
Maybe I was like ranting a little bit, but it was because I was laughing the whole time I was posting it.
Well, it was a ridiculous thing. If anybody gonna be a Karen, I would have been a Karen.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing over here about? What the fuck is this? Like, I was thinking, is somebody punking us? Is there like videos somewhere? Like, you know, they want a TikTok challenge or whatever?
Yeah, because yesterday was a weird day everywhere.
All day.
Yeah.
All day was weird shit.
So, you know, like, okay, so to anybody out there, like, just so you know, when we talk too on these vlogs, you know, we're not like, we don't judge. We really don't judge. We may say things that are maybe judgy, but it's all in fun, right? We don't mean any harm, and we know we're all not perfect.
You know what?
You know.
No, we don't need to do that.
No, I know.
You take it with however you like take them, because that's your problem. Yeah. However you like take them, that's your problem. You know, me, I'm not going to be an apologist kind. I'll just apologize.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? So like
fuck
me,
that, bro.
you know, I'm
if you take them whatever way you take them, then that's your fucking problem.
But I just thought it was funny that she called. I don't even know if it was a guy.
I got offended by the way you said this, that, and the other, and like just recently. Okay, so I'm glad you say that, but let me talk about that then.
Uh-oh.
So you know this whole thing that always getting played out. Oh, he racist. You know, like for example, Trump. I never vote for Trump, bro. You know what I mean? Not in a million years would have I had voted for Trump, right? Because that's not my guy, right? But you know the thing that I really, really like irritated with already. I'm at the end already. I'm done.
What?
Is the constantly playing to he's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist, right? All the time you see all the news media, the liberal news media.
Yeah.
And me, I'm a guy that I don't give a fuck about your politics. You Republican, Democrat, Independent, or Green Martian, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care about your politics. But here's the thing, right? Trump just pardoned young boys, NBA young boys, right? This rap artist, what I don't know who that is. I don't know that guy, right? But he's black.
Oh, okay.
He's black, and he got popped for some serious shit. And Trump just pardoned him.
Yeah.
And the woman in his administration is black who also got a pardon from Trump, and she's now like the go-to person where blacks can finally get pardons. There's no Democrat president ever, including Bill Clinton, who's supposedly the first official black man in the White House, you know, because he loved blacks so much, right? He never pardoned blacks. You know what I mean? Trump is doing that, right? So why are you hating on the guy for doing that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe you don't like the fact who he imparted, why he imparted him.
Yeah.
What I trip out on is nobody blinks an eye when non-blacks get pardoned. Nobody blinks an eye. They're like, whatever. As soon as a black man get pardoned, all of a sudden it's a fucking problem. So Trump pardoned the guy. So you know what? Props to Trump. Right on, bro. You know what I mean? You flipping the whole script for everybody, right? I never buy into that whole Snickers thing. Oh yeah, blacks love me because I make Snickers for them. Fuck the Snickers. I don't give a fuck on no fucking sneaker shoes, basketball shoes, or whatever. They're not gonna make me vote for you.
Okay, so
but
you
know when you pardon people that normally would never get access to that, we would never get access to that, right? Then I'm gonna give you your props, bro. In Hawaii, let's talk about Republicans and Democrats.
Oh gosh.
Democrats have been in control for Hawaii for over 60-something years, right? And they claim to love Hawaiians. In fact, it was the Democrat Party who would recruit Hawaiians for go support them to become the power that it is, because before it was Republican controlled in Hawaii, right? But the Democrats, they will figure out one way, and they will tell Hawaiians, hey, come with us, help us, we're gonna take care of you. To this day, but we get the finger from them. Once in a very blue moon, like just a few years ago, 2022, we got 600 million on Hawaiian homelands. But other than that, we don't get shit, right? But yet they still just stick with us Hawaiians. But guess what? Who get the record of putting more native Hawaiians on the land? Who? If anybody can tell me their name, who? You don't know. I know. You know who it was? Linda Lingo, a Republican. All the Democrat governors like that, never. Well, right now, Josh Green is on par to beat that record. And I would love to see Josh Green do that. I have respect for him. The guy is doing really good work. He doing a lot to hire Hawaiians and all that. So I just go tell you guys this, bro. Well, we're gonna stop hating on people saying they're this, that, the other when they're not. Calling them out their name when they're not. That's my point. Why are you gonna do that? Then that tell me that you get something. Maybe I should be looking at you when you pointed the finger at them. We should be looking at you. Anyway.
Okay, so we're almost there.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
So you see how passionate you are right now?
Right.
Are you mad?
No.
See, to me you sound angry.
Why am I angry? I'm not angry.
But I understand.
No, I just people misconstrue assertiveness.
That's what I mean. But it's like,
yeah.
To me, it sounds heated assertiveness, right?
Yeah.
So that's why some people, I notice when you talk to people on the phone and you're like really like, like getting your point across, I hear the other end going, no, yeah, I know, no, I'm not trying to go against you and stuff. So that's how people, you know what I mean?
The
like,
perception.
Yeah. So that was like my whole point of the video, is like,
right.
You know, people will take things differently.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so I just proved that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just had a real life thing right now. Impromptu. See, it wasn't even scripted. Yeah. Okay. I just gotta be me and I can prove your point. Hey, they didn't clean up the road.
And so it's perfect timing, or the rain did it, something. Perfect timing. We're here at work. We have a brand new tent, so we got lots of work to do. We have beef stew, potato mac salad, and cornbread.
It's not beef stew. It's a little bit different twist to it. Got, you know how the beef cubes?
And pork.
Got pork.
So is it called bork?
Pork.
Or beef?
Beef.
I like beef.
Beef stew. I got beef stew.
We got the beef stew.
I got the beef stew.
You got to do that, because you can get away with that. If I say it, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, she's teaching someone." Okay, so you gotta do that.
You know, I was raised on Samoa. You know what I mean? In California, so
just for the
my daughter's
record,
Afakasi.
Just for the record,
and shout out to
white.
my Usos out there. You know, we was raised together. We was raised kind of rough out there, but
just for the record, I'm white. So when I call white people stupid, I call every race stupid, because they're stupid in every race. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So today, when people come, you're gonna say we get beef stew. Okay, maybe we'll do one later on the way home.
Love, peace, happiness, y'all. We out of here.